Good morning and welcome to Mimosas in the Morning with Lesley and Holly. And today, as you see, there's no guest, it's just us. We're going to talk about a few things kind of near and dear to our hearts, including why we're both wearing red today. And that is something that my dear friend Holly, that is one of her passions.
Yes, my advocacy.
Your advocacy.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and get into it now and why we're wearing red and what all it means.
So I'm gonna let Lesley, because I read it, she speaks so much better ethically, and I get like all emotional. So I'll tell my story because kind of Lesley's interviewing me today. I know, can you believe she's actually interviewing me today? But here's some facts, and I put them on a board for you, Lesley, so you can do it from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC.gov.
Well, I'm going to read, so I'm not going to look at you. So just be aware. And
we want to get the facts right because it's all about facts this week.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So it is Heart Month. So with the American Heart Association, so that is why we're here. And the numbers are a little staggering, really, when you think about it. It says 610,000 people a year die from heart disease. And it's 1 in 3 women, that is their cause of death. And that is one thing I think with women especially that we don't really, we're not aware of it because there's different things, there's different causes, there's different symptoms.
It says this, 27% of people do not realize that these are symptoms of a heart attack. So 1 in 3. So if you put yourself, because I love my girlfriends as everybody knows, go into a room, and right now there's 6 of us that we work together. 3 of us will die of a heart attack. Now I want you to choose that. Can you choose that? Can you choose one of your 3 friends that will no longer be with you? I went to one of the heart events, and they did this. She was the mayor actually of St. Pete's, and she came up and she did this beautiful presentation, and she put friends' pictures. All of her friends' pictures. And then she started taking like 3 of them away. And that to me, I just started crying. I cried about her story. I cried about that because I'm like, how could I eliminate 3 of my girlfriends?
Oh, absolutely. Right? And you think about it, and I guess this is something I didn't think about until I really thought about Holly's advocacy in this department, is that my grandmother died of a massive heart attack. My husband's grandmother passed from that. You know, there's heart disease. It's all the way around in the women in our families. And, with my grandmother, I never knew that she had this issue, and she never shared it because I just don't think women do.
Right, no talking about it, which is sad. And so we have that, and you have 1 in 4 deaths out of the 600,000 people, 1 in 4 deaths by heart disease.
And that's staggering because really what you hear more about, which is horribly tragic, is your cancer. There's a lot of events to promote awareness of that.
Yep.
And what do you think it is? Do you think it's just with heart disease that people aren't aware of it until maybe it's too late sometimes?
I think for our children, you think your children are just healthy, right? So you don't really talk about because your children are just healthy, and or you would think that. So you kind of eliminate that when you think of kids. Today I was reading or something that said, obesity, of course, lack of exercise, diet, but people forget that those are not just the 3 things. I mean, family, your history, know your family's history. That is very important. When you tell me your grandmother had a heart attack, automatically that's a red flag. You need to get checked up. If they say on the opposite, like sex, if it was your father and all that, then for the men, they need to get checked out. We don't talk about it. I think that we are considered like the figurehead, and we are the caretakers by nature. So here we are, we're taking care of everyone, and we forget about us. And especially for military spouses, what do? You're moving to a new duty station. Your first thing is you're taking care of, if you have children, you're taking care of your children. You're making sure that you have a home, you have a place to live, the kids are in school, everyone's taken care of, and then you forget about you. And the stress of being in this unique, beautiful lifestyle we live, because it can be very rewarding, it's also the flip side, very stressful. And especially this time of year, because it's PCS season for most people. You're waiting on those orders, you're constantly doing this, trying to check where you might go. You don't know. So if you're a planner, and we try to be planners, and it's so hard in the military, you can't be a planner. You got to fly by the seat of your pants, and that doesn't go well with most women.
Super gumpy.
You're super gumpy for the Marine Corps, but we just don't. So a little bit about it's not my why, it's my reason. My reason is back in 2013, we were stationed at 29 Ponds. Anybody who knows anything about 29 Ponds, that is basically a training base. It's a lot of deployments, multiple deployments. My husband had just come back from a deployment. He was part of the unmanned aerial vehicles, the little remote control planes. They, at the time, was deploying 6 months on, back 7 months, 6 months, going back and forth. So he was preparing,
Major.
not for him maybe to deploy, but for others. So he was not there. He just came back. I am not a skinny girl. However, my insides are very healthy. My doctor will tell you that. I have great cholesterol. But at the time, I was even heavier than what I am now. Trying to come up, I had a baby. I get a phone call from my mother, who's, of course, she's a good Southern woman, but very hysterical woman, saying that my brother had a heart attack and that they were medevacing him up to Charlotte. What do you mean?
That's young.
Yes,
He's young.
right. Yeah, he was only in his in 40s. Yeah, because I'll be 42 next month. So my brother was at the beginning of his 40s. It was very scary. My brother and I are like butt heads. You're sibling people, right? You're with your siblings. You don't always get along. Yeah. At the same time, you never want nothing tragic to happen to someone you love. And so it was very, very hard. I didn't have my husband there. I didn't know who to call and talk. I had 3 small children. I was under a doctor's care, and so I left. And I probably, to this day, I think some of this crazy woman, because it came in, of course, I'm crying. I got 3 kids, because who's going to watch my kids? I just moved there. So I'm like, 3 kids running into the doctor's office. Luckily, he was coming out, and he's like, Mrs. Beckett, just come on back. And of course, I talk fast, and I'm rambling, blah, 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 all this. He listened to me. He listened to me ramble. And then this is not for everyone, but for me, he really listened to me. He took his time. He put his hand on me and said, it's going to be okay. And then, of course, I'm crying. Let her even more cry. It's going to be okay. Let me give you some facts. And so he started pulling out all this information for me. And then he told me a little story. He said that his best friend's father died at age 6. He was an avid runner, dropped dead of a heart attack. His best friend, avid runner, dropped dead of a heart attack. And I was just taken back. I'm like, runners? Really?
And I can add to that, somebody that I knew, probably one of the healthiest people I ever knew, just a year older than me, was a cyclist and a runner. And
exercising, right? In that heart attack. So he asked me, he said, Miss Vega, has your mother had a heart attack? No, she's not skinny at all. Tell you that. She can cook up some storm because she's a Southern woman, but no, she's pretty happy. Did your grandmother have a heart attack? No, trust me, she's feisty at the time she's passing out. No, she's very feisty. And they need you like your aunt's cousin. No, but on the guy's side, yes. He said, there, that's where your brothers need to work on. There's your history. So you need to look at your history. I want you to go talk to your mother, really get the information. Here's this details and all these resources for you. I want you to go on the website, look at all these websites. Also, I'm not going to dismiss this. Let's do workup. So he scheduled me for everything. I'm clean as a whistle. Telling you people, I'm
shocking.
Very clean. I know, very
Absolutely
shocking. Because look, I'm not skinny, but hey, my fluffy is fluffy, and that's okay. But my heart is like beating. So we did the workups and everything was fine. Within that week of waiting for all the texts to come back and worrying about my brother and everything's going okay. My son Diego he was seeing an audiologist, and I went in, and Miss Vivian, who was his audiologist, now in DC, she's amazing. Noticed that I wasn't my normally holly self, and was like, afterwards, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? And so then I started crying because I'm a crier. So I started crying and I told her my story. And she just sat there, and I remember her looking at me. Vivian, you probably don't even remember this, maybe you do, because she knows that she means so much to me. She explained to me about losing her husband. And it was February 4th that she lost him. And he died of a heart attack. He was running on the treadmill in Camp Lejeune, and he passed away. I, again, was floored. I'm like, he's a runner. Just came back from a deployment, this very fit, strong man. What do you mean? She showed me these pictures. I left from there kind of like in shock. Like, I just couldn't believe this. Had a social with some spouses. I now call myself a heart whisperer because I feel like it kind of tells me their stories, and it's not for me to share, but they didn't tell me. It was many spouses who were borderline having a stroke. There was someone who had a stroke, never talked about it. No one knew. I left from there, and that next day I was hitting up our links, which is this is a course for the Marine Corps. I'm gonna have Deanna on here because she could really talk about this course. But the course there's two beautiful ladies, Gina Thurman and Amber. We're in Twin Mountains, so we're the instructors. And I went to them and I'm like, I feel like I needed something. We need to do something. So, because it's never an I, right? It's not an I. Anything we ever plan or do is a we. It can't never be successful without your military spouses coming forward. I explained to them, I felt like we needed to do something. And they coordinated and got together with base and all the entities to give resources. And we had a big gala. Because if you know, in California, the big gala is, the Heart One Way, in California. And then they do the big one up in New York to bring awareness. So that's all going on this month. And I was like, wow, let's make girls pretty. Let's make them feel pretty, right? Because when you feel happy, your stress is down. There's nothing really going on in Twin Pines. We had all these resources, had this great event. Unfortunately, back and forth, because that's how I met you. We got orders to drive back to Quantico, so I had to leave. And Gina and them carried on fruition with this event, and they even did it another year. And when I got to Quantico, I talked to them about it, and we held 3 events in Quantico. And it's just spiraled into that.
So let's bring about what it's called. It's Military Hearts Matter.
Yes.
So, and that is something, like she said, near and dear to her heart. Yeah. And if you've been following us on Military Home Base on Facebook, she's been doing some fantastic interviews with members of our community.
I feel very blessed.
People, stories whose family member has dealt with heart issues, from our coworker and friend whose baby.
My girlfriend Sean, who lost her husband, to Stacy, who's Jocosie's wife, who was her husband's advocate. And she said your husband. As I said, you said your husband that day. By pushing. Oh, yeah. And then the rest of this week, we have a few other spouses that are going to talk about one on Wednesday, tomorrow. Kim, her son is having open heart surgery here in Tampa. So please put her in your thoughts and their family. Not tomorrow, he's not having surgery. He's having surgery in February. But tomorrow she's going to talk about that surgery, February 14th. And then Gretchen, who's out in California, she was going cross country. And she's a nurse, so she's going to give you some really good facts. And then Friday is my girlfriend, who's going to talk about being a military spouse who is dealing with heart issues herself. But I don't want to give everything away because it's their story, right? It's their story. I can't share their story. They have to share it with you.
So definitely you can go back and you can watch the ones that we've already had, and definitely join Holly as she goes through this, because like you said, it's her passion.
Yeah.
And I just want to say something, because she's probably going to kill me, but I'm going to do this. So you know how she always has some kind of silly surprise for me, which I love. I'm going to do something for her. I want to say that my dear friend here has been nominated for Military Spouse of the Year, and I am so proud of her.
Lesley.
I am very proud of her, and I can get teary because you're one of my dearest friends, and I love you. And I want to say a little bit about Holly. She is the person. She does things because it's the right thing to do in her heart. She doesn't do it because somebody else is because somebody's watching. Holly does it because it's the right thing to do. And I am blessed to have you as my friend. And I just want to say a few things. It's not just Military Hearts Matter. She has been involved with, numerous clubs. She has started a group for kids at the local elementary school for military children. You need her, she's there. If she would give you the shirt off her back, and if she didn't have an extra one, she'd find somebody else who can give it to you, because that's who she is. And I love her, and I'm proud of her. And I just want to say that if you go to that, and we can put a link later, vote for my friend.
Or vote for someone, because there's some wonderful spouses. Fantastic spouses who have been nominated this year.
But she deserves all the recognition in the world. She's humble, she's kind, and I'm proud of her. So I wanted to say that today, and that's my surprise, and she's probably going to kill me afterwards, but yeah. So spread the word. There's nobody like her. And so that's cool. And so, but now that I've done that,
back to the
but let me throw that out too. So we're doing that.
Right.
And, we're talking about our Military Hearts Matter. And Holly and I have talked about, because as you all know, those that follow us, we do have our own Instagram page
we do.
now.
I know our boss Iris is happy about that.
So
we're getting a little high tech.
We are. We're branching out because, because we, for some reason, you all do watch us, and
we're blessed. Thank you for watching.
And so we're trying to branch out. We're building this community with Military Home Base, and we are continue with that. So one thing, kind of building on that, we are going to do kind of a transformation for us, for you
Let's
all.
be healthy this year.
We're going to be healthy, mind, body, spirit. So if it's
And promoting spouses.
of
This
course,
is- yeah,
of course,
I think
because that's who
somebody-
we are.
Mhm.
And we were just talking about one day, we're like, why don't we just do that? Why don't we throw ourselves out there too? We're going to try to find people who want to work with us to make us healthier. We're going to build this community together, make you healthier, make you feel good about yourself. The transformation, because when you're healthier and you're paying attention to that,
Your stress levels.
your stress levels down.
And when you get together with spouses and friends, you're happy. You have that network, you have that support. So let's do some goat yoga. You want
We'll
to
do that.
yoga?
And that's the thing too.
So goats on my back and
After last weekend, last week, we did no makeup. We put masks on our face.
Yeah,
I figure if we can do that, we can throw ourselves out there and
Yeah.
do about anything at this point.
because that's
So,
equally important. What you put in your skin goes straight to your blood system.
we'd love to have you all join us.
So if
you're-
you know someone who is a military spouse who would love to do a virtual workout with us,
right? Because we're thinking about, let's challenge ourselves. Let's do it together. Let's do something wherever you are. If it's here in Tampa, awesome. If you are in Japan, awesome. It's something that we can all do together and see where we're at in
Let's
3
get
months.
physical. That's going through my
Oh
head.
my goodness,
Done all
it's
the
not
songs.
the song.
Oh, we'll get some headbands on. Let's get physical, people.
And so Holly will always have a surprise for me.
Yep.
So we'll be
Yeah,
ready
I'm
for
working
that.
on it. My wheels are turning. We gotta have fun with it, Lesley. Come on.
I'm
If you
all
don't
for it.
notice now, I'm such an extrovert. She's our introvert, but I'm pulling her.
I try. I do try. I really do. I get out of my comfort zone on a regular basis because of my friend here. But, like we said, let's all be aware going through this month. Pay attention to the American Heart Association events in your
Yes.
area.
They're amazing. Yeah, reach out to them. They are always doing events and have such resources. And they're very for our military. So
That,
drink lots of water.
yes.
Today we're not doing Mimosas
I
because
know.
alcohol consumption is not good.
But
Sometimes it is, but not good. But water.
sometimes we still will.
Yeah.
Because we do love our
moderation
emotions.
is the key.
Everything's moderation. And like I said, we're going to be doing this transformation together.
Yep.
And we hope we get a lot of you all doing it with us because we think it'll be fun. So I will also
I'm
say,
gonna call it. Let's get physical.
apparently it's supposed to be physical. So that'll work. We're still working up the details. Stay tuned for that. But like I said, military hearts matter.
Yeah.
So remember that. Remember about my dear friend here who is nominated for Military Spouse of the Year. We will have more about that.
Or go in because again, there's a lot of spouses. There's some amazing spouses.
There are some
I
amazing
nominated, and I said, Lauren, she's on here. Look, Lauren, go. Lauren is amazing. Well,
There's a
she's
lot
gonna be on our show next week.
Oh, super cool.
So you're gonna get to meet her.
So,
But there's some amazing spouses.
there are amazing spouses. I'm
They're
just
doing
promoting.
amazing things in there.
I'm promoting mine.
I know.
So,
And my job is to promote them. So
but that and our transformation, which is coming up. Come find us on Instagram. Join our community on there, and we'll.
and
continue to have
remember,
more things.
military home base, bringing you home one base at a time.
Have a good week.
Thanks. That doesn't look right. I'm like grabbing my crotch.